At 62 years of age, the legend of Michael Jordan still looms larger than life. Time has softened his once blistering athleticism, yet it has only sharpened the aura of his name. He is remembered not only as a conqueror of the basketball court but as a cultural icon who transcended boundaries. His reign was never confined to the hardwood alone. Michael Jordan was a global ambassador of competitive greatness, a man whose hunger for victory was insatiable. Yet beyond the borders of basketball, there was another world of athletes who stirred admiration within him. Men whose craft belonged not to the court, but to the rugged battlefield of the gridiron. For Jordan, the National Football League represented a different kind of combat, one fought with helmets and shoulder pads, with brute strength and tactical precision. And though his own journey never brought him to those fields, the NFL was never far from his heart. Tonight, we journey into the mind of a legend. At 6'2", Michael Jordan reflects not on rivals he despised, but on the rare few he respected, admired, and perhaps even envied. 5 warriors of the NFL whom Jordan himself has spoken of or would naturally hold in reverence. These are not casual mentions. They are the reflections of a man who defined greatness, recognizing it when he saw it in others. Number 1. Jerry Rice. If ever there was an athlete whose name belonged in the same breath as Michael Jordan, it was Jerry Rice. The wide receiver who redefined his position, the man whose records seemed untouchable, the relentless perfectionist whose training sessions were the stuff of myth. Rice's conditioning runs up hills became legendary, just as Jordan's late-night shooting marathons became the lore of Chicago. Both men were bound by an obsession with mastery, and Jordan has often acknowledged Rice as the football equivalent of himself. In interviews, when asked to name the greatest football player of all time, Jordan's respect for Rice was clear. For Jordan, there was no comparison. Rice was the epitome of consistency, a mirror of his own philosophy, that greatness is not an act of occasional brilliance, but of daily, punishing discipline. Watching Rice command the field, Jordan recognized the reflection of his own spirit. It was not envy but kinship. They were men cut from the same cloth, their legacies forged in fire. Rice, with his elegant roots and unyielding hands, embodied everything Jordan cherished in an athlete. To Jordan, Jerry Rice was not merely a wide receiver. He was the football manifestation of obsession and domination. Number 2. Walter Payton. For Michael Jordan, growing up in North Carolina, football was a distant stage. But when he rose to prominence in Chicago, the city gave him more than adoration. It gave him an icon to watch, an icon he would come to admire deeply. Walter Payton, known simply as Sweetness. Before Jordan became the face of Chicago, Payton had carried the city's soul on his shoulders. His running was not just powerful, it was poetic. He was elusive, tireless, and courageous. Even in games where the Bears were overwhelmed, Payton fought with dignity, never yielding to despair. Jordan has spoken of Walter Payton with reverence, acknowledging that Sweetness represented the standard of resilience. Payton's work ethic was so intense, teammates would whisper of his off-season hill runs, the same whispers heard about Jordan's endless shooting drills in empty arenas. There was no doubt in Jordan's mind that Payton embodied the rarest quality in sports, a refusal to accept limitations. For Jordan, Payton's legacy was personal. He saw in Walter the spirit of Chicago, the man who prepared the city for what it would later give to him. In admiring Payton, Jordan was not merely admiring a football player. He was honoring a predecessor, a man whose sweat and sacrifice laid the foundation for Chicago's hunger for champions. Number 3. Tom Brady. Generations separate them, yet admiration transcends time. Tom Brady entered the NFL as Jordan's reign in basketball was nearing its twilight. Yet Jordan could not ignore what Brady became. A symbol of willpower, of defiance against age, of championships earned through persistence. Though Jordan built his kingdom on the court, he understood the agony of carrying the weight of a dynasty, the loneliness of a leader forced to win again and again, long after the world expected him to fail. Brady's story resonated with Jordan in a profound way. Drafted not as a savior, but as a mere afterthought, Brady rose not through natural gifts but through relentless obsession, much like Jordan himself, who was once cut from his high school basketball team. In conversations over the years, Jordan has acknowledged his respect for Brady's fire, for his mental edge. He did not simply admire the rings, though they were numerous. He admired the consistency, the courage to demand excellence when fatigue and doubt had every right to prevail. To Jordan, Brady was not a quarterback. He was an emblem of belief, the embodiment of defiance against history's limits. Watching Brady win long after logic said he should stop, Jordan smiled knowingly. It was the same smile he once carried when critics said his dynasty had run its course, only to watch him rise again. Number 4. Lawrence Taylor. If Jordan ever sought to name an athlete who could frighten even him with sheer intensity, Lawrence Taylor was that figure. The New York Giants linebacker was not simply a defensive force, he was chaos incarnate. Taylor redefined defense, his speed, strength, and aggression rewriting the rules of the NFL. To Jordan, there was beauty in that violence, not because he sought to replicate it, but because he understood the psychological warfare within it. Jordan had his own version of terror, his cold stare, his merciless trash talk, his ability to destroy an opponent's will. Taylor had his, in the form of devastating sacks and bone-rattling tackles. Though they played different games, Jordan admired the rare gift Taylor possessed. To Jordan, Lawrence Taylor symbolized the raw, untamed side of greatness, a reminder that excellence does not always wear a smile. Sometimes, it comes with fury. Number 5. Deion Sanders. If there was ever an athlete who captured Jordan's admiration for flair, it was Deion Sanders. Prime time, the cornerback who was not only great but unforgettable. Jordan's competitive fire was built on more than dominance. It was built on spectacle, on the ability to seize the world's attention and hold it hostage. Deion Sanders did the same in football. With unmatched speed, dazzling interceptions, and the swagger of a showman, Sanders was more than a player. He was an event. Jordan and Sanders were cut from a similar fabric, both understanding that sport was not just competition but theater. Sanders' ability to shift from NFL Sundays to Major League Baseball and thrive spoke to a versatility Jordan respected deeply. As Jordan reflects on these 5 names, a theme emerges. Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Tom Brady, Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders. Each, in their own way, mirrors a fragment of Michael Jordan's soul. Rice, the relentless perfectionist. Payton, the embodiment of heart and resilience. Brady, the unshakable will. Taylor, the fearsome predator. Sanders, the entertainer who made greatness look effortless.